If she had only been ugly, we would still be together.
Tom Irrera here at the Laugh Factory with Chris D'Elia, my guest. Thank you. That was a cold opening. We did.
That was good.
We did improv.
Yeah.
Speaking of improv, you guys are doing basically improvs your shows, right?
Yeah, well, we have scripts, but we rehearse all week, and then kind of the night of when we're gonna shoot the show live, Undateable. We do mess with each other a lot.
So cool.
Yeah.
Fun?
Yeah, it's so fun, man. Especially because like 4 or 5 of those guys are my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's also like I've done, I was on Whitney for 2 years, and that was fun as well. But it's cool to just kind of like shake things up a little bit.
Whitney was a good learning experience in case you did television. Come on, it's just
hey, come on.
I'm giving you the zingers.
But that's funny. But yeah, no, and so now we're doing it live, and it's cool. And 4 of us are comedians, so it's not, people are like, are you nervous? It's like, not really.
Okay, Chris, now who would be the order of the show of the 5 of you? All right, I know you're closing. Who would be?
Oh, well, we went on tour.
Where was Brent?
Brent was right before me. But it's funny because
I always bust his balls about
I
being
know.
not quite you.
Yeah.
You're doing great, but not like that.
Well, you know what's funny about him is he is so like every man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we'll be out, and fans of the show will be like, "Oh," to me, and he'll be right there, and they'll be like, "Oh, so great to meet you," and then walk away. Like, they do not recognize. It's really weird. Yeah, it's really weird. It's happened a few times. Like, and they're fans of the show. They know the show, and sometimes I'll be like, "This is the other guy," and they're like, "No," like they don't. You know what I mean? He just has that regular look.
Well, I gotta tell you, and don't tell him I said this because it's nice.
Since we're in private right now.
I think he's terrific.
Yeah, he's great.
And the first time I saw him, I was like, he was emceeing the second show Friday, and I'm going, holy shit, who's this kid?
Yeah.
Because he's young to be that good.
Yeah, he's 29 now, so he's been good for a while. He really is good, man. I was trying to get him into all these clubs, and I've known him for like 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and when he started, he really was so fast, and he made no sense on stage.
Right.
But I was like,
Nerves, huh?
yeah, well, you don't even know how to be on stage, but I knew that there was something about him, and then he's great now.
Well, it's interesting that you both, not to be over artistic about it, but you both create a world up here. You do that, and he does that. And not that there's any stealing going on, not even.
Oh no,
yeah.
But
I mean, he'll get in the car.
Yeah, he's very good at having. Neil Brennan said he's like, I only like Brent stand up when there's 8 people in his bits, because he'll do a bit with like 7 guys in it, and you all know.
Judy, I told you.
Yeah,
I forgot Judy was in this.
Yeah, and you all know who each person is, so he's great at that. Yeah.
Now you're doing something that blows me away in a sense, and I don't want to get sappy, but you're doing like completely new stuff. A lot of it, and the way I do it is I kind of squeeze new stuff in.
Yeah. I noticed you do that. Yeah, well, that's usually the way to go, right?
But I mean, I think it takes major balls to do what you're doing, because I miss some of those bits. Like I missed the church bit.
Right.
And the drunken girl and the different things that became classics for you, but. It's your philosophy. I'm not. I think it's cool. I think it's.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like my last special, I shot it. It's weird. Like once I know it's documented, like my last special was called Incorrigible, and like when I shot it on December 13th, and I remember, well, first of all, my first special, White Male Black Comic, that was the first hour I ever had. So after that, I would like try and like wean it off, and then after a few months, I had a lot of new shit. But then my second special on December 13th, I remember on December 13th I shot it, and on December 14th I had a show, and the special, the taping went really well, and I got all the bits the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And then on December 14th I had a show, and I was doing some of those bits, and I was like so bored. I was like, I already shot this, and I know it's not out yet, but I was like, it was like hard for me to get through it, and then that was the last time I ever did any of it. the day after.
What about on the road? Like, because I know I get this, like, especially if I'm in Philly or places that I'm more popular.
Yeah.
Like in Atlantic City, people will shout out
Right,
bits.
right.
Do you do them?
No.
You just won't do it?
I just feel like it's online, or like, you can look it up if you want to.
You know why I do it? Because I pander.
And that's what makes you good.
I like to pander to the crowd.
I actually, you know what? I actually have a thing. It's not a good thing. It's kind of a negative thing where if somebody likes me for a certain reason, like take that drunk girls bit I used to do. If somebody likes me because of that, in a way, I kind of resent that because I think like it makes me upset that like they think they know me just from that one thing and they know who I am.
Right.
So it makes me not want to do it anymore. And it's kind of an unhealthy thing because I should just be like, oh, that's really sweet,
Yeah.
and it is, and I know it is. But then, like, if I really think about it, and if I'm honest with myself, I start feeling like I've done so many other things in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, it's a little bit of an insecurity of mine.
No, I understand. I mean, I've said to people when they come up and they say, "Why didn't you do this?" Why didn't you? I said, "Isn't it good that I had other material?"
Right.
I go,
Right.
"Did you enjoy the show?" They go, "Yeah." I go,
Yeah.
"Well," I said, "Because here's the thing. No matter how much, it's not like music. You know, like when you go
I
see
know, yeah.
somebody, you don't mind hearing the same
No,
thing.
you want to.
Yeah, because there's no punchline to music.
Right.
You know, like the surprise.
But I'll tell you what, I just saw No Doubt, which has been around forever, the band, and they played all the songs I knew, and that was fun.
Is that Gwen Stefani?
Yeah, and
You know, Ollie's working with her now.
who?
Ollie. Remember,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's their musical director.
Oh no, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, they played all the hits, and I was looking at her, and she's 43 now. She looks amazing, by the way, but I was like, God, to do that over and over again, and everyone to be doing that, and happy about it. But when I think the interesting thing is like if you were to do a bit that people know, I think sometimes they don't realize they would rather hear new stuff. Because they think they know you from that, and then they want to hear it. But it's not like they're laughing at it again. They're just like, oh, yeah, he's doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine being McCartney, 40 years, and singing "Hey Jude."
I don't think I could do that. Yeah.
But that's music. But I mean,
Yeah.
I can understand why it would bother you. Believe me, I have trepidations about doing certain bits over, and
Right.
but I like to mix them up.
Yeah.
And I think. What do you think's the strongest thing about your stand-up?
God, I've never been asked that. There's so much, No.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. If you want.
Okay, yeah.
You're acting. The reason I think people can't steal from you is because it's harder to steal from somebody who's talented, who's actively talented, as opposed to somebody who's doing lines that anybody could say.
Right.
You know, you're acting, and I love when you get silly. Like
Yeah.
to me, when you laugh, because it's
Yeah,
genuine.
yeah.
Like you don't like. I've seen people, and I don't want to name her, but you would know her. She laughs at the exact same
really?
time after the same joke, so you know it's contrived.
Right.
When you get that silly laugh, it's like something in your mind broke you up. But it relaxes the crowd because they know that it's not real.
Right.
But it really makes it not real when you laugh, and it makes it funnier.
Right.
You know? You're fucking kidding.
I actually think that because I used to try to not laugh on stage because like I laugh all day, like that's just kind of like who I am, and I would try to not laugh on stage because I was like, oh, comedians shouldn't do that, the audience should laugh. And then one day I was on stage and I was like, something struck me really funny, and I couldn't not laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, why, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah.
it's just fun, and and if it's not right, then I don't care. And so now, part of me laugh, a lot of times I'll be coming up with stuff, like, I don't normally do the same, I don't have the same wording every time,
Yeah.
so like, it's kind of new and fresh to me, usually, but when I will like, a lot of times I'm laughing because I'm having so much fun, and I can't believe that, like, this is my job.
Yeah.
And I'm like up here telling like shit or dick jokes, and like people are
Dick
like
chip jokes.
right, yes, or that, and people are like laughing, and that they paid for it is like a riot to me.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
it's the
that's
greatest.
so funny.
Chris,
So
go ahead.
fuck it.
I remember the first time I made $1,000.
Yeah.
I was married, and I was living in New York, and I remember saying to my wife, Lisa, we made $1,000 this week.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Who needs more than that?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like, I appreciated it because, I don't know what did you do before this?
I was just, dude, I was doing voice stuff on like TV shows and all that, and it's called like looping. Like I would do like
sure.
like the radio in the background of a television show or something. Like I would be the announcer or something. So I did that, and then I actually I'm a writer, and I had scripts optioned and stuff like that. So, but then once I did stand up, I was like, I just wanted to focus on that.
Chris's dad is a very established
director, yeah, producer, yeah.
Great guy too.
Yeah, he is. I'm a lucky son. He did.
Your mom is hot. May I say that?
You may
at
may
the
say
risk
that.
of being rude.
No, but he does that show How to Get Away with Murder now. So yeah.
He's always working.
Yeah,
What a
he's
great
been
career.
fortunate. Yeah. He's just one of those guys that people like.
And how do you do with the ladies, Chris? May I ask you? you like women, don't you?
I do, yeah. I have one now that's very special to me. She's great, and
I know her, and I think she's a great girl, beautiful.
Yeah.
But also fun.
I'm a lucky guy, yeah. And but yeah, I don't know. Dude, I just like when whoever likes me, So.
Don't say that. They don't want to know you're insecure. They don't want to know you're human. You got a series.
Right.
That's great, man. Did you ever wait her or anything?
One day.
What's that?
One day.
One day?
Yeah.
Way to hang in there.
Yeah. One day, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And then I worked retail at Abercrombie and Fitch for like a few months.
I can't even imagine.
Imagine me.
No.
Yeah, imagine me doing that. It was. There's so many. Well, you look back in your life, at least for me, and it's like, now I'm at the age, I'm 35, to where I finally feel like, wow, that was a lifetime ago. Like I was too young for that until now. Do you know what I mean? Like, but to think about when I was 19, you know what I mean? It's like seems like I was a different person, but yeah, I was.
You weren't a
doing
stand-up yet.
No. 25, I started.
That's a good age because
It is, yeah.
That's a normal age because you've experienced life.
Right.
I mean, some guys are amazing, Chappelle and people that started as teenagers, but it doesn't work for most people.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like sometimes I think about like, oh, should I have started earlier? And I don't know how I would have. I don't. You have to have lived past college, I think, a little bit.
I
and
did
been
too.
in the real world.
I was into acting much more than stand-up. I didn't know how to get into stand-up, but I think the acting helped me with stage presence more than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was so nervous as the rabbi and Fiddler on the Roof that I couldn't get more nervous for stand-up.
Right. I started stand-up with a guy, because I had been acting and doing theater and all that for years before I did stand-up, and I started stand-up with a guy who never did any of that, and it was like.
You were a comedy team?
No. But we were like, we should do, and we would do open mics together, right?
Right.
And it was just he had to learn being on stage. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of already knew that.
That's got to be hard.
Yeah, I would be like, dude, you're grabbing. Like, there was one point where literally he was like, I was like, do you know? Like, we watched the tape of him, and he was like on stage, and he was holding, like, doing this. I was like, you're grabbing your ankle, and I was like, do you know you're doing that? It's like so distracting. He's like, no, I had no idea. Wow. It's just like that's the kind of shit you got to learn. That it's just like you don't think you have to learn,
Well, people don't realize the transition from being funny to being on stage funny.
Oh yeah.
And like, because some of the funniest people in your life are not comedians, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And me too. And it's just like it's just such a different world.
Yeah, you have to learn how to do it on stage. I mean, just because you're a funny person doesn't mean you're a good stand-up comedian. Yeah.
But so many think that my aunt, she should be a stand-up.
Oh, yeah. I had what was I doing? Oh, it was my grandmother's 90th birthday, and I was in New Jersey for this. And one of my aunts or cousins or something, I don't know, you know how like when there's a big birthday, you start seeing people, you're like, oh yeah, you, and you're like, I don't know who that is. I think my brother went downstairs to smoke, and there she was, whoever this woman was, and she was like, you know what my dream always was? And I was like, what? And she was like, and I was like, I don't even really know who you are. She was like, stand up. And I was like, oh God. She just, you knew that she knew she could do it, And you're just like, it's so hard.
I know a girl who's beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous, and she's so hot she could be your girlfriend someday if you ever broke up, God forbid. But she like very hardly ever spoke, and she wanted to be an actress, and now she came to me and says she wants to be a stand-up, but she doesn't want me to see her yet.
Right.
But I'm thinking, but you're not funny. Like even like, but you know, and maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm jumping to, you know, because I've seen, as you know, by being around here, there's certain comedians that are not funny at all. Off stage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
And they're just so. Some people are so serious.
Oh,
like even knowing Sebastian, I think is one of the best guys today.
Yeah.
And like before I knew him, I was like, he's so like quiet and serious.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
turns out he is funny when you get to know him. But like,
I
yeah,
know,
you know.
I had to go to Bermuda on a tour to finally get to know him a little. Like finally he loosened up.
Yeah.
Like do you know Bob Marley?
Yeah, I've never met him personally, but yeah.
Well, he is so fucking silly. You'd love him.
Yeah.
But he's like, you can't deny him.
Right.
Sebastian, you're right, is intense. You know, he was a waiter at the Four Seasons when I met him.
I knew that, yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
But he's like one of the guys that made it. When you hear so many people in your life going, I'd like to do stand-up.
Right.
You know,
well, he put in the work though, man. Like, but also Sebastian would leave his waiter gig, come to a set, and then go back. Did you know that?
No.
There were stories of him where he would leave his tables at the Four Seasons, go to the Comedy Store in his waiter outfit, do a set, and then go back and finish the tables.
Wow. Really?
Yep. He would get people to cover for him, you know. But how insane is that?
Well, there were two guys in my life that were amazingly good. It was Alonzo.
Oh yeah.
He was a bouncer here.
Oh really?
He was a doorman. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, he's a bruiser anyway.
Yeah.
But
he crushes Alonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody likes the guy.
Yeah. Well, he's the nicest dude ever.
They always ask about him, you know.
Yeah.
Who else? And he's another one. And I look at you, and I look at Tosh, and I look at him. You're all funny and all this, and you don't drink.
Oh, really? They don't drink, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess they don't.
I mean, I admire that because I didn't used to drink, you know. I don't know what changed. I don't want to get into my therapy with you with your show,
Right,
but
right.
it's just I think it's so admirable that you don't need to drink. Like the other night, you were here with a friend, and I saw you getting a drink for them.
Yeah.
But you can get a drink. You don't have a problem with it. You know, you don't have a problem.
Oh
with
no,
people
yeah.
That's cool. Some people like maybe you were never an alcoholic, right?
No.
So that helps. You know, some people like they can't be around it. They can't. You know.
Yeah, I feel like I actually don't even like telling people sometimes because I don't want them to think it's for a reason or whatever.
Must be an AA.
Yeah, or you know, it's a religious thing or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's just I never did it.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I certainly have fun without it. I mean,
there's nobody ever says to you, you know, you really should drink.
No.
You really should drink martinis. There's nothing.
That's true. There's
nothing valuable in that.
That's true. You should have beers every night.
How can you watch football without beers?
Yeah.
What kind of person are you?
Well, that's the thing about me. I don't watch football, so.
Which is another thing that it amazes me. You know, Tosh and I are big Dolphins fans.
Yeah, I know.
But like you, Rogan, some of these great comedians, they don't watch football.
Yeah.
But I mean, see, that would free up my days. Do you have a problem against really fast black men?
Yeah, I hate them. No.
Cut that. It's a joke.
Leave it. And I don't know, dude. I just never cared about sports. People think that a lot of times that I'm like a guy's guy, you know, just because they think that I drink and I would watch sports, and I'm just so not that guy. I'm so in my own head.
Well, what's your interest?
I love comedy, dude. I love stand-up, man.
Like Sunday. What do you do Sunday while I'm watching games?
I love coffee. I go to a coffee shop and I drink coffee.
You got in your coffee?
I know, but I like to get it the way I like to get it. It was
okay.
too much to say. I don't want to seem like a diva, you know?
A diva.
Yeah.
It's cool that you came in because it's funny how, I mean, you know the guys that, like, they're really nice when they're starting out, and then then it's like a big burden for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking, you know, I knew, like, I have a joke about, like, I shot to the middle and I clung there.
Yeah.
So I've seen people go up above me and down below me, and like, you know, it is a pain in the ass, but I hope you have fun in this hour, but I appreciate it. Not to be corny, but I know guys like, you know, like Bob Saget, for instance, you know, and I love Bob, but I mean, he made like such a big deal. I said, fuck it, Bob, you know, like, and then when he wanted to do it, I didn't want him. And so
Oh,
he,
your podcast. This
yeah,
is what you're
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Bob and like certain guys, and I don't mind naming them because they're friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they acted like, Damon. Fucking Damon was like my brother. And we did shows together, and we were always working together with my wife and kids. We had our own series. It was his name. And what he wanted is, he said, send me a copy of it. Send me a copy of it. Like, Damon, it's me talking to one of my friends.
Right.
What's their copy? You do
Yeah,
wanna
yeah,
do
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Don't fucking do me no favor.
Right.
I said the meanest thing to somebody. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I said, but, don't worry about it. I said, because you know what? It's cool. I said, for me, I can get like the hotter young acts now. So don't worry. If you don't want to do it, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking...
That's funny. Well, I've seen, I don't know Saget or Damon really, but I've seen some guys that, look, I kind of grew up in the business. My dad, has been in it, and I hated that, man. I hated when people acted like they were different and when they got some sort of success. And I think I always keep it in the back of my head when I meet people, like they can teach you lessons on how not to be.
Oh yeah.
And I some comedians that that sometimes we talk about in private. It's just like they just act like divas, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that way. You're never better than stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
well,
we still live and die by the audiences and the stage.
And that creates good energy. Like when you come upstairs, everybody's genuinely glad to see you, and that's a nice feeling. Because in this business, there's so much resentment, and I should have that, and I should.
Yeah.
Like one thing I learned early on was I never let anybody's success diminish me.
Yeah.
Because it's our own. Somebody said to me one time about Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. Does that bother you that he's getting all these movies and you're not? I go, what does he have to do with me?
Yeah, it doesn't.
He's fucking brilliantly talented.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. People actually think because somebody gets something, that's taking away from something that they could be getting. That's not true. People are creating all their own opportunities, and just because somebody gets a part doesn't mean I'm not getting that part. It doesn't mean that.
I remember somebody told me, and this is always funny when they think, I don't know, maybe they think that we carry comedy on our backs individually. Somebody said to me, look, you're really funny, but I got to tell you, I love Robin Williams. I go, well, half the world loves Robin Williams. You should love him. Why would that be offending me?
So weird, yeah. Well, it's not offensive until you said the second part.
Yeah.
Like, you could just say, I really love you. You don't have to say, but I really love Robin Williams. It's two different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Who, like, I don't mean to be cliched, but who did you follow anybody growing up?
I loved Eddie Murphy.
Really?
Yeah. And Jim Carrey. Those two guys were always the guys that I love silly. I mean, obviously. And those guys were so silly to me, Yeah, Jim Carrey and Eddie Murphy were the two that I would watch. Well, and Jim Carrey didn't really do too much stand up, and I guess neither did Eddie Murphy. But
but he documented enough.
Right. Yeah. Eddie Murphy did. Yeah.
But Jim was really. You would be surprised to have seen him in those days.
Yeah.
Because he was such a Vegas-y act.
Really?
Yeah, because he was an impersonator.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, he'd be doing Sammy Davis Jr. and this and.
Yeah.
And it was a very amazing thing because I was there during the whole In Living Color
God,
thing.
I would have loved to have seen that, man. Like that whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the Comedy Store was loaded with talent.
I mean, if I could go back in time, any time, it would be then at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. Well, it was so many people did television.
Yeah.
Like now, like your generation has really stepped up to the plate.
It's starting to happen again, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys all on your show.
Yeah.
What's Glassman? Is that
Yeah, yeah.
Love that kid.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's so fucking goofy. And you know what's funny about him, Chris? He actually, as funny and goofy as he is, you can get him. You can be like, if I fuck with him, he goes, really?
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's still sensitive.
Well, he'll say it. He's very insecure. Yeah, you can get him easy. Yeah, but he's a great guy.
I said to him, he says, I really want to do your show again, like the Breaking Balls show.
Uh-huh.
And I go, I'd love to have you. I said, but I got like really like hotter acts now. He goes, really? I go, no. Of course I'll have.
It's like 8 slots a show. It's like, of course you can do it. It's funny.
I grew up watching Woody Allen, and people never believe. They think of me as this Guido comedian,
right?
And I would like this New York Jewish intellectual, but his writing was so brilliant.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah. Yeah.
We were talking about that whole relationship with Sun Yi,
Uh-huh.
and I said, at least you got to admit she's not hot. Give him credit for that. Maybe she was young, but she ain't hot. Sorry, Woody.
Another guy I loved was I loved Robin Williams, but another guy I loved that people are always I loved Rodney Dangerfield, and I'm so not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he was a big part of my life. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I don't know that.
Well, he was the one that gave me my first break.
Oh, really?
You would have loved this. You never really saw me pissed off, but we were auditioning for his special, and when his specials at the time were like The Sopranos.
Right, right.
Everybody watched them.
Wow.
It was a much bigger deal because
On HBO, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was so much less. There was so much less choices. There were so many less choices. When that was on, the fucking world.
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah.
And I was auditioning, and it was Damon, Barry Sobel, and myself. We're supposed to do 10 minutes. They did 25 minutes each before me, right? I'm fucking furious.
Yeah.
So I go up, and all I did was lay into them, and the audience was laughing because I was saying shit. I go like, and I think Damon's brilliant. I love him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I go, Damon, I said, after 20 minutes, it wasn't happening.
Right.
Were you going to get funny all of a sudden?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just let it go. And I told the audience, I said, well, I got Rodney Dangerfield here to see me, and now I get, and I'm all pissed off. And Rodney comes up to me and goes, kid, you're funny, but all you do is lay into people. You got an act or what? Right? And I said, yeah, I got an act. And then he saw me at the Improv, and then I got it. And then we became friends.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
And like he was so, I went to see him right before he went to get the operation. That he said,
Right.
and he's funny till the end.
Really?
He says, if everything goes right, I'll be out in about 2 weeks. If it goes wrong, I'll be out in about a half an hour. But that's funny you would say him because
I loved him, man. He was so funny to me.
he had so much anger
Yeah?
that it was funny anger.
Yeah.
These cocksuckers, everything was cock. We were sitting in Greenblatt's one night,
Yeah.
and he goes, look at these cocksuckers. What the fuck they staring at? I go, they're staring at you.
Yeah.
You're Rodney Dangerfield. You're a big celebrity. His break when I saw his career change was Caddyshack.
Mm.
You ever see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't he
He
great?
was so funny in that.
And you know what he said? He said, I didn't think. I said I thought I was bombing because nobody was laughing.
Oh, I heard that story about him. Yeah.
I
That's
said,
so funny.
They can't laugh.
They gotta be
It's
quiet.
a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't have the cameraman going, that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Keep that.
That's funny. He was so funny in that movie. Wow.
I watched him in Back to School.
Yeah, I love that one too.
Remember that? What about Thursday night? I have class. Well, give me a call when you have no class.
Yeah. Ah, fuck, I love that movie. He was so funny, man. And Jamie tells stories about him. Who knows if any of it is true because it's Jamie, but the owner of this.
We've talked about Jamie's pathological lying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why are you lying? To practice, to keep in shape when you have to lie? What are you lying to me for?
At least if that was it, at least you could respect that.
Well, it's funny because, what's cool, Chris, is to see the people coming in for you now.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
got to feel good because if there's one fucking place that's hard to draw, it's here.
Yeah.
Because you know how special you get after the plane reaches a comfortable cruising altitude and people start recognizing it.
Right.
You're here with everybody. If you can draw like an extra 25 people or whatever, 50.
Yeah.
That's a lot here.
Yeah, here is tough. Yeah. But you know what, man? I noticed like, because I would do so many spots coming up. Like I would do like Comedy Store here, back there, improv, like, and not the big shows too. When I was coming up, I was doing like the Belly Room stuff, and I was doing the Ha Ha Cafe. I mean, I was doing coffee shops, and I really people started recognizing me in like the Valley and here and stuff, not from TV, and I had been doing some TV, and they'd be like, hey, it's you, and I'd be like, yeah, and I expected they knew me from Glory Days or Whitney or something, and they'd be like, yeah, I saw you at the comedy club, and I was like, oh, and I realized that I had been going up so much that it was like,
It was building, huh?
it was like a local thing,
Right.
even though it's in LA, it's
Yeah.
weird to be a local LA thing, but it was like if I was in a smaller town in the middle of the country,
Right.
I was the local guy that was the comedian. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I eventually wanted to shoot my special here, kind of because of that, because I started to stand up here, and I also don't like how like it feels like Boston or Chicago or New York or all the places where the comedians rep. But like I was like, I'm an LA, I started here. I'm an LA comedian, you know, and I wanted to shoot it there. And when I did it, my agents were like, LA is not the best place to shoot. I was like, dude, it's gonna be fine.
Oh,
like
yeah.
this is my town, you know. This is my
Yeah.
and it was. We shot it and it sold out. And
What theater did you shoot it?
The Wiltern.
Wilton, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I get that attitude because I developed in New York.
Yeah.
But I get that, like, do you like L.A.?
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with being happy? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I hate New York, but I'd rather live in L.A.
No, I know. Yeah, me too. Just the weather alone, honestly.
The weather and just the intensity. I'm too fucking neurotic to
Yeah.
deal with all that noise in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to take my Xanax in peace and
Yeah,
quiet.
I hear you.
You don't take anything, huh?
No, I take. Well, I actually just found out. I've been taking Lexapro for a long time, like a little every morning, and then.
What's that? A tranquilizer?
No, it's just an antidepressant, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And anti-anxiety, and I just looked at my pill bottle recently, like a few weeks ago, and I noticed, I had just been getting the re-up every time, and it's not Lexapro anymore, and I do not remember changing it, but now it's Celexa, and I called my doctor today, actually, because I was like, hey, when did I switch?
Yeah, right.
And I hope everything's okay, because I do not remember doing that. It's such a low dosage, and it's.
Yeah.
I've talked to the pharmacist, and it's the same kind of a thing, but I don't know if you're a doctor out there. Tweet me what the fuck is going on.
Help this man, please. He's doing terribly. Isn't it nice to make money?
Yeah. It is cool. Honestly, it's cool to just know that everything is okay.
Yeah, it's the
If
greatest
my house
feeling.
burned down, I would be okay. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's that kind of a thing
No,
that always just makes me feel comfortable.
It's a great feeling. And you know what I love about this, and I've said this before on this show, is if your show got canceled and everything, guess what? You still got a fucking major gig.
Yeah.
You got stand up.
Yeah, the only thing that would change would be I would be out of town a lot more, but
Be out of town more, and you'd make different money.
yeah.
But some of the money'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get on a series, but
Yeah.
you can make if you do theaters.
It's pretty at this point it's pretty the same, yeah.
Well, that's a good sign. That's a good sign
Is
for your
it?
stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Well, one of the,
It always depends on what gigs you're doing where, but yeah.
yeah. Do you have a favorite club or a favorite area?
I love performing in LA, man. And I know people are like, well, the crowds are jaded, but fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, I love if they don't like it, I love talking at them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I love LA. I love New York. I love Texas, dude.
Where?
I love like the Dallas
I
Addison
haven't
Improv.
done that much. You haven't done.
Yeah.
I've done Austin a bunch of times.
Austin's cool. There's some cities to me like Austin that are just like a little too hip for me, that are just like, I don't like when you go to a city and I can feel this on stage, and maybe it's in my head, but I don't think it is because I've been performing a lot of years, but like in a lot of different places. They feel like you're lucky to be here.
Oh yeah.
And these are places like this that I've noticed. Austin, Seattle,
San Francisco.
San Francisco, 100%.
Yeah.
Nashville's like that. You play Zanies, right?
I can't now because of Jamie in Chicago. I used to.
Oh, right.
But Nashville, Brian is a good friend.
Yes,
of
no, I
mine.
know you're friends with. Yeah, yeah. There's some. Oh, you know what else is like this to me? Denver.
It's good.
No, Denver. They feel like you're lucky to be here performing for us, and it's
Well,
like
the crowds are different in downtown and the suburbs.
downtown is the one I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
the suburbs is probably great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The downtown's a little hip.
Now, the Comedy Works is a fucking amazing club. I mean, it's one of the best clubs in the
Yeah,
country,
well,
no
she-
doubt.
She does a great job.
It's awesome.
And
It's
she's one of
so
the,
great.
She worked her way up from waitress to club owner.
Oh,
That's
really?
a great story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That club is awesome.
She didn't have like her father directed. And
Yeah, I know.
That kind of break.
Fuck those people.
He wrote your act too, didn't he?
Of course. And he hires the audience to come see me.
He's amazing. How you getting along with your brother?
Great. He's
What's he do? He's a painter?
My brother's he's a director. He
He's a
directed
director?
a movie, and we're
Where
working
did I get that? I thought he was an
I
artist.
don't
or
know.
something.
I mean, I don't know. But he is a writer. He's developing some stuff for different companies. But
What a family. Oy vey, what a family.
I know. Yeah, we're really tight, and my mom is hilarious. You know her. And
They were here the other night, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just great. And
I can't believe you blocked me in, by the way. That was fucking very rude.
I know.
Very hurtful.
I didn't know whose car
I
it
didn't
was.
care.
I know you don't care, but if I knew it was yours, I would have been like, nah, I shouldn't do this.
You could
Says a
have.
lot
I mean,
how much I respect you.
thank you. You wouldn't block me in.
I just saw the new plates and I was like, fuck this guy.
You know where I park?
Where?
Dane Cook's spot.
Was that his spot?
No, remember he had the one spot?
Yeah, I heard about that, but I never saw it.
Yeah.
Was it in that part?
No, it was in the other part.
In the back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But that's pretty cool that he had his own spot. That's why people thought he was an owner.
Oh,
You know, that would make sense.
yeah.
But
I don't have my own spot. Maybe one day.
I don't think so. I'm sorry to tell you.
I'll make it.
You'll never make it that big.
No.
Maybe have a part. I did it. Well, I don't want to talk about that. We don't have too much of a history. But Dane got mad at me for joking around and I said, Dane, it was a joke.
Yeah.
You know, joking around about the spot. Me and this guy from K Earth. And you know, anyway.
Oh, about the parking spot. Oh, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'm glad he's doing well. That's another story for another time.
Yeah.
In another show.
Yeah.
God bless all people in comedy and all over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see how long. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll see how long it lasts, man. I mean, I'm honestly like you said, it's always good to know that I can do stand up. You know, whatever happens with the series, and you know.
Well, it's really weird for me being this age and having 20-year-old girls laughing at me, because when 20-year-old girls laugh at you, part of them wants to have sex with you. You know what I mean? But they ain't thinking that about me. So I get a kick out of it because I didn't know if my bullshit would work this long.
Right.
And you'll find out because you'll always be a stand-up, even if you do movies and stuff. I know you like it's in your heart.
Yeah.
But it's because like when you said about the clubs, every one of these 3 clubs has a validity to me. This is more of a college crowd.
Yeah, definitely.
The Comedy Store is more of a tourist crowd.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
And the Improv is a generally LA hip crowd.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can really try stuff out at all 3 clubs.
Yeah, and it's very, and I will say this, and you know, I know it's my show and we should be talking about me, but it's very rare that somebody reaches your age and is still relevant in stand up, and you are really truly one of the only people that can play these clubs and hang with everyone.
Well,
you know.
I'm partially retarded too, so that helps. But you said something to me one night. You know how you never know, like whether a teacher says something or a peer or somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says, but that's fine. It's
10 minutes.
Okay.
You got 10 minutes to tell this fucking story.
No. You said we were upstairs one night, and I don't know how it came up. You go, I never think of you as older than us. I just think of you as one of us.
Yeah, I do.
You couldn't have said anything nicer to me.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, because I don't want to be the fucking, I don't know, here he comes with that old school
Yeah,
stuff.
you're not, dude. You're not that. You're just, and it's weird too because I have like a level of respect for you because I grew up watching you, dude, and like I always thought you were hilarious, and my dad would show me your stuff, and it's very weird because I've never really experienced having so much respect for someone as someone that I look up to that I can honestly call a friend, and it's really cool because I never thought that was actually possible. I always thought it was, either like they're that or they're that, and it's very cool that you're both, man.
Oh, thanks. But it's like as if when you get to a certain level, you live in a different world.
Yeah.
My thing is, and I know you feel the same way. Where you're at now is just trying to get better, trying to improve. It's like people go, well, how much better do you want to get? I go, as good as I can get.
Yeah.
And it's hard, it's hard. Like now you're coming up with a whole new hour.
Yeah.
I mean that's balls.
But you have a lot of new stuff whenever I see.
Yeah, I weave it in. I mean, I would say out of every set, every 20-minute set, I'd like 5 to 7, 8 minutes new. But I'm not as
that's
brave.
a lot.
Well,
I don't know. At this point, honestly, I just want to I also know, like, I you know how, like, when you get on stage, like, either there are some people here that are know me from Undateable or know me from my last special, and they're just kind of happy to see me. So, like, I'm like, dude, I'll just, if I bomb for 5 minutes, who gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah, but you can see that.
Yeah.
You can see that and that relaxes the audience.
Mm.
Because you can see when you're like fucking around, that doesn't work.
Right.
I'll go to something
Right,
else.
right.
But most of the time, your stuff works anyway. But I think it really, you know, it's like my thing with audiences. It's always like dealing with a dog,
Mhm.
in the sense that if a dog knows you're afraid of it, they just.
Yeah. It is like that. It is like that.
Do you think there's a part of you that still does it to impress girls?
Does what, stand up?
Yeah.
I can honestly say, honestly, man, it was never that for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was never that for me. And I think that, look, I love that. I love if a pretty girl thinks that
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
cool. But, you know, there are guys that do stand up. And I was talking about this with Fitzsimmons a few days ago, and he said something interesting. He was saying that there was this thing in, like, the 90s where, like, good-looking dudes would start doing stand-up.
Oh yeah.
Just because they had, like, charisma, because it was such like and it worked for a while, and all those guys kind of faded away.
Yeah.
But if you're doing stand-up, part of it is fine, but some guys do stand-up to be, like, in front of people and like impress people and get girls, and that's, like, the worst, dude. Like, I mean, they're just doing it for the wrong reasons. You know, I like when whoever likes me, and that's it. To me, it's mostly about me and wanting to make myself have a good time and be funny, you know?
Yeah.
I don't, if I really think about it, I don't think I'm trying to impress girls.
I think there's something
I mean-
inside of me that still does that
Really?
at a certain juvenile level. But of course, I'm realistic. I'm not going to end up with these girls,
Yeah.
you know. But I think the fantasy in it, like to make them laugh, is kind of cool.
Huh.
I mean, it does, like, you know. And if I see an average-looking girl laugh, and this is so mean, as if I'm some fucking hunk, and I see a beautiful girl laughing, I love that the beautiful girls laugh.
Really?
I mean, I want the average-looking girl to be happy.
Yeah.
But I want this beautiful girl in my fantasy world to be even happier for some reason.
That's hilarious. Well, when you started doing comedy, would you say your options got more?
With women?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Right.
totally.
Right.
I mean, I got women I could never get
Oh, okay.
in a regular world.
Gotcha.
Like if I were, you know, like a worker somewhere,
Right.
like a hard-working guy, nah.
Uh-huh.
But when you're on stage, and don't forget, I didn't always look like this. I always look like a fucking troll. By the way, you see how my eyes are closing? I mean,
Yeah.
you see my eyes like a little
I
slanty?
suppose so, yeah.
Well, that's actually a real thing.
What is it?
I don't know what it's called, but it's
Oh, yeah,
like,
that one over there, yeah.
yeah, but the doctor said, because I said, it can't just be because I'm fat. My eyes are closed. He goes, no, you got this thing, and if you want to get it, he said, we never recommend cosmetic surgery. But I was kind of relieved.
Oh,
because
that it's not just.
That it's not just a fat head.
You have fat head.
Is that a disease, sir? No, you're a fat head.
No, you created it. It's your disease now. It's like Lou Gehrig's.
I heard Lou Gehrig really didn't have Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, I heard something like that.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
That one credit he had.
It's still, yeah.
Do you think people would remember a baseball player this long if he didn't have some dreaded disease?
No, who's that one? Ted Williams or
Ted
whatever?
Williams?
I feel like everyone kind of forgot about him over the past 20
They
years.
did, yeah.
Lou Gehrig's was.
Lou Gehrig lives on
Yeah.
with the disease he didn't have.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, the thing with the eyes is real.
Oh. Well, hopefully you die soon and it doesn't get off. You know what I mean?
Well, wouldn't you be afraid to get an operation on your eyes?
Oh yeah. Oh, I won't even do LASIK. Everyone's getting LASIK, you know, to make
Oh.
it see.
Well, do you wear glasses?
I wear I wear contacts.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I got pretty bad vision. It's not horrible, but it's bad, and I got to wear glasses if I don't have my contacts in. And I want to get it because I want to see, but
Can't you get it at one eye?
and then what? Walk around like that?
Yeah.
Or you just want me to look like you?
Oh God, He was the devious plot to make. Now, how do you feel now, handsome? Looking like me, son of a bitch. No, but I was relieved that it actually is something.
Yeah.
But he said, not worry about it for a year. Because you ever hear that bit I do about my doctor says you look like a fucking Chinaman?
No, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, because he really said that. I was on like Craig Ferguson or something. What the fuck happened to you?
It's not that bad. I didn't notice until you said something.
Which eye? This one?
That one, yeah. A little
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah.
You got a while before it.
I got a year. I got a year of open-eyedness.
Before it hits your mouth.
It's sad. What I can't. So you got anything you want to plug before we go?
Just Undateable has come out. I don't know when this is going to come out. But
This will probably be about 2 weeks.
okay, so watch Undateable. It's on Friday nights at 9 or something. 8. It's Friday nights Friday night. Look it up. I don't know.
Isn't that great that your credit is a major TV show? You could see me at Bananas, which actually I love Bananas. If you ever did that, you ever get a chance to do a club on the East Coast.
That's in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's all about draw. You would make
Really?
money there.
Yeah, Undateable, and then watch my special on Netflix, Incorrigible.
Any clubs or theaters coming up?
No, because I'm doing the show. I'm going to be in. My next gig is in Arizona. I'm doing a college there in Tucson, and then the next night I'm doing live.
Stand Up Live?
Yeah.
Great club.
I've never done that.
I did it I did it in the heat of the fucking summer.
Oh yeah, well that's brutal.
They're like amazing because they're all beautiful. The people are all they're
Yeah,
all
they are,
happy
I know.
And shit. And you go
It's
outside,
crazy.
there were dust storms. It was 107 degrees and humid, and
Ugh.
you had to put like something over your eyes.
Oh,
once
really?
Once you get inside, you probably won't do it. When are you doing it? In the winter?
I'm doing it in November, so yeah, it won't
That'll
be so
be beautiful
bad.
then.
Yeah, no, I've gone in the summer and I've actually gone. They had it like the coldest winter in years, and I was there, and it was freezing, and I didn't know Arizona got like that,
Oh yeah.
but it does. Yeah,
I'm doing the Laughing Skull. Do you ever do that?
that's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never done it. It's like people love it though.
Oh, the clubs I wanted you to do. You did because I'm doing Governors and Brokerage.
Oh, I love that club.
I thought you would.
Yeah.
Did you do the little one too?
No, I only did that one.
Okay. Well, I did the little one on Friday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Brokerage, and then Saturday. They own
Yeah.
both clubs, which is nice.
That's a great club.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I kind of grew up.
It's cool to get out of the city a little bit too and kind of
Well,
do
they're
those.
the real New Yorkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the-
Absolutely.
In the city, once I had like Portuguese sailors that thought it was
Yeah.
a strip club.
Portuguese sailors.
Yeah, they were pissed off. They wanted their money back because nobody took their clothes off.
No.
They really thought it was a strip club. Yeah.
At what club?
It might have been Gotham, but I'm not sure. It might have been before Gotham.
What
Maybe-
the fuck?
Yeah. They thought it was, They saw a club, people walking in. Hey.
Oh, that's hilarious. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm glad you came on. Say hello to the family for me.
Will do, man.
Appreciate you coming in. We'll never bug you to do this again if you
No,
want to
dude,
do
I
it.
always want to do it. The last 2 times I did this, they didn't air.
Well, you weren't that big then.
I know, you're right.
No, good. They aired.
They did?
They weren't on video.
Oh, all
But
right.
I think that was when there was a change and
Yeah. No, I know. You
Somebody
said.
fucked up
yeah.
your video, but
No, I wanted to come back and do it, but
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Today worked out perfectly because I go back tomorrow to Undateable.
That's
so.
cool. I'm glad you came in.
Yeah.
The thing about it is we have a policy. This is so rude. We don't do all videos anymore.
Oh.
We do it for hot chicks and celebrities.
Hey.
You made it to celebrity.
All right, man.
Thank you. Chris D'Elia, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks.
Each time that I think of you, I get distracted by something more interesting. Whoa, people say